game of the year. What is it? What could it be? I don't care what they actively...
There's only one obvious.
I don't care what they picked at the Game Award. Probably picked Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 2B. For me, there are two possibilities, okay? There is the Elden Ring DLC, which was in the running, and that got everybody's panties in a twist. It's a DLC. And then there's a game that really wasn't even nominated except for some subcategories, and that is the Silent Hill 2 remake. Okay? Now, don't tell me which way you're leaning. I assume it's one of those two, right? Yeah. That you were thinking. Okay. We have Elden Ring, which obviously, I mean, it's an Elden Ring game. Well, let me rephrase that. It's a Souls game made by FromSoft. Like, it was awesome. Yeah. And it was awesome to watch everybody panic because they didn't understand the upgrade system that a giant pop-up told you about, and you had to click OK. You know what I mean? Like, and they're like, it's just too hard. Asmongold, who I've been watching for years, a Souls player, he was even giving up because they're like, I'm not going to go hunt blessings. This is dumb. I'm level 184 or 320, you know? I just, that genuinely brought me so much joy watching all these top streamers have a hell of a time. I'm like, I beat that boss first try. And it's not a skill thing. It's just, I explored the area. I figured it out. I thought the game was great, the DLC. But Silent Hill here, okay, it did something that we maybe have never seen or have only seen one other time. And that made quite possibly the most terrifying game in history. Survival horror, love it, hate it. I don't care about your opinion. It's about mine. And I have loved survival horror since the first Resident Evil. You know what I mean? What one did you think of when I said Game of the Year?
Silent Hill.
You thought of the remake as well. Well. I wrote down a few points that I thought Silent Hill did beautifully, okay? The mannequins. The way they would hide and hide in different places. And if you did something in an area or a room, they would just scat-a-doo over to, you know, a shelf or a doorway or just something.
Just fucking leaning up against the wall, like, and a lot of them are hard to notice too.
Yeah, and then the ones that ended up started climbing around, and they just became too much.
Fucking nonsense.
Every second of this game was nerve-wracking. I know you played for long gamer sessions. I couldn't play for longer than an hour just because my nerves got fried. You know, I'm just.
Yeah. Like I said, and it wasn't jump scares. Just that. But the whole fucking atmosphere of the game. A lot of the places you're going aren't that well lit. Oh, you got your little flashlight and shit. Everything's dark and fucking spooky.
And dying or wasting resources, more importantly, is like you could waste resources right now and still be paying for it 6 hours later.
Yeah.
So that's what makes every single step so terrifying, like the prison area. That prison area was the scariest thing I've ever been a part of. Oh, man. So you got the mannequins, the nurses.
Yeah, that's when we first got them fucking crawling all over the walls and shit. Was in the prison.
And then you got the, I think they're called mandarins. They go underneath that grating.
Oh, yeah.
That area where you get locked, I think it's in the labyrinth. You get locked into a room and you have to kill like 2 of them. And I just couldn't figure it out. I kept running back and hitting them like 3 times. And then, it took me forever there. When you're exploring and you start seeing signs, I don't remember what this area was called, but you start seeing signs that Pyramid Head is around, okay? You start seeing slashes in the walls and such. And then you stumble across his lair.
That was a lair. That was a bedroom in a fucking janitor's closet.
Well, I don't care if it's where he beats off at. Like, that was his domain. You know what I mean?
Found it. And I remember getting that as probably the one thing that got me was like, this guy has a fucking twin mattress? Like, what the hell's he sleeping?
I didn't even see that because he was on.
Pretty sure he had a nightstand too at the lamp.
He was on my tail, and I hit that dead end, and I'm just like 360 around the room, and then I see the little crack, and I'm like, hey. And then I went and, got in there, and then he stands across that grating. He whips around and.
Fucking stairs.
That game was great. I will tell you, though, like I say, the horror was almost too much. That last area, it was like a hotel, right? But it was like well lit when you were like in a lot of places. I thought that was a better balance of like fun, scary-ish game, and then when you walk into the hallways, just bone-chillingly terrifying. Instead of like 8 straight hours of dink, 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 you know? Like I was so afraid when I got the handgun in that game to fire a shot. I didn't fire a shot till I had like 100 bullets. So that way, even at the end of the game, I still had like 170 bullets or something. Okay, so I thought this would be like a bit of an argument, but I guess we're in agreement of what it's going to be. Game of the Year 2024 is the Silent Hill 2 remake.
Yes.
And what sucks, shut up, is... like next year, I think it's going to be super slim because all of the developers are not wanting to commit to dates yet because they think GTA 6 is going to come out. And they're like, we don't want to be within freaking 6 months of that. So from what I hear, every developer, for the most part, is waiting to commit. You know what I'm saying? To even coming out in next year, even games that are ready, your Witcher 3s, whatever, you know. Did you see that Witcher 3 stuff? That's going to be sick. Witcher 4?
Yeah.
Oh, whatever.
From what I got out of it, you're not Geralt, you're Ciri.
You're the girl with the scar face. And I see a lot of people online mad about it. They're like, how woke is this bullshit? We got to play as a bitch?
Fucking storyline.
Yeah, well, and forget the storyline. I don't care what the character is. I'm currently playing a Metroidvania right now that's like a big titty Japanese game. It's like embarrassing for people to see, but it's a great game. And that would be my Metroidvania game of the year is going to be Frontier Hunter. A little bit of a sleeper, just popped up on my suggested. And, you know, anything that has that Japanese... what do they call
really
that?
Popped out to you. Huh?
Yeah, that thing right there. But they call it not anime. What do they call it? It's like the cartoon porn. It's like real dork Comic-Con stuff, you know. Anytime I see any of that,
What you're talking about starts with an H.
yeah, hentai. I run the other way because I assume that's the whole point of the game. Like, it's not a good game. There's no substance there. It's just watching titties.
Right.
But, you know, I can watch real titties. I'm a grown man. I'm not a 10-year-old boy going, man, when I first see some titties.
It's going to be great.
But, yeah. So, game of the year, without question, is Silent Hill 2. I don't want to hear argument, and I damn sure don't want to hear that it's, what's that boss rush Souls-like?
Fucking Wukong.
Yeah, Wukong, thanks for everything, whatever the hell it's called. I don't want to hear nothing about and you. No. I'll hear that argument. I'll hear. What I won't hear is, what's that game I came on this show and said I didn't like, that open world, and everyone bashed me for like 6 weeks? I don't even remember. It was so forgettable. It was such trash. Gave us like
Zelda?
No. Well, yeah, that's trash too. But no. We played it this year. Dragon's Dogma 2.
Oh, yeah.
I don't want to even hear that game being in the conversation. That booty juice clone nonsense, copy and paste, mission, boring garbage. Y'all suck if you play it. And on that note, you know where to leave your hateful comments. Silent Hill 2, if you haven't played it, play it. It's a good game. Good night.
Great game.
Non-apologetic nonsense.